Hey everyone, I know it's been a while. I have been super busy. My daughter is a senior this year and she has a lot of stuff going on, and I've been making a lot of preparations for those things that she has going on. She is doing amazing this end of the year with all the awards ceremonies and things. I am just blown away and I'm so proud of her. But anyhow, um and I am also in the middle of planning her farewell party because she is going to the Navy. So I have all of that on my plate, but I did want to get out here and do something in this garden. It's an overcast day. It's warm. It's a little drizzly here and there, but it's perfect weather to be gardening. I love to garden in this type of weather when it's kind of slightly drizzling and just warm. So let me show you what I have going on really quick. This is not going to be a long video. So this was the bed. I did the red mustard. The Mizuna was shaded out and crowded out, yikes, by a lot of this creeping Charlie. So there's a few of them like here, and then I think there's like a couple like right here. I don't know if they're going to do anything because it's starting to get really hot now, but we'll see. The red mustards look good. This is the broccoli rabe. I'm doing fantastic. I just planted around here some beans. I did the wax beans, yellow wax beans. I did about 6 or 7 of those down in this like L shape here, and then over here I did 2 crystal apple cucumber, and then a space master over here in the corner. I put dill here and dill here. Dill did really good over here last year, and then I also did dill there. Basil in that corner. Along there in the front, I threw down some marigold seeds. I don't know if they're going to sprout. I threw down some marigold seeds here. We'll see what happens. Closer to the edge here, I did a handful of the cilantro seeds that I had saved from last year. So I got cilantro and dill here, and then I've got dill and basil there. Dill is really good to go with your cucumbers, so that's why I plant dill with cucumbers. Basil is pretty much good with everything. Over here I did 5 sugar baby watermelons, and then I did 2 rows going down of provider bush beans. And then over here, I did 3 of the scarlet runner beans. I love scarlet runner beans because they attract so many pollinators and they bring in hummingbirds. They're just beautiful to look at. So I always include scarlet runner beans. There's a big, huge mullein right there. I can harvest those leaves right now, and I can dry them out, and I can save them for tea. It's really good for like respiratory issues. If you have any type of bronchitis or any type of respiratory issues, it's good to drink mullein tea. So anyway, the peas are looking good. You can kind of see there are some weeds in between there, but you know what? I'm not even going to bother it. The peas don't look bothered, so I'm not bothered. The weeds are crazy this year. Peas all along here doing good. The carrots have finally started coming up. I can't stand this creeping Charlie. It's really easy to get, to pull out, but it's always so much. All right, so yep, carrots all here. You can see carrots. And then over here I've got radishes coming in. Look at those cuties. Yep, radishes all on the end there. I think I did some beets over here, but I don't see many of them. There's a few that are trying to pop up there. You see with the red veins in those leaves. Those are beets, but it doesn't look like this end had very good germination. success. Not as well as this end did. I did just throw down some compost. You can see the dark areas. That's the composted manure that I have. Over here is my borage. I put, I don't know, 4 or 5 seeds in this bucket a while back. I just threw some compost in there too. So these are not going to stay in this bucket. I'm going to end up eventually transplanting these out very soon because they're starting to get big. But borage is so good to have in the garden. It attracts tons of pollinators. This bucket here, I put some more Space Master cucumbers, and I also put a sprinkle of marigold seeds in there. All right, so I have like a whole bucket of stuff that I want to plant, but I always overdo it and I never get to everything. So let's take a walk on the other side. All right, so I just had to weed let's give you a better view. I just pulled all these weeds from this walkway and I just threw them over onto this bed here. It's like a chop and drop method, so these weeds are taking up nutrients out of my ground and they're growing and they're lush. So the idea is I chopped all these weeds, I threw them onto this bed, so when they decompose into this bed, then they will add nutrients to this bed, most likely nitrogen. And if you didn't know, this whole week was National Composting Week. And I meant to post a video earlier in the week, but like I said, I just got so busy. Look at this mess over here. This is all weeds around my sage. You see my sage is coming back here. It's beautiful. It's about to get some flowers. I love sage flowers. They're so pretty. I put this cardboard down here because I was like, you know what? There's just so many weeds in there. I'm not dealing with it. So I threw this cardboard down in order to smother out the weeds. I am going to just pile on some compost on top of that and I'll go from there. I've got some cilantro here that is volunteering. I usually have cilantro volunteer in this bed. There's some more there. 2 things of cilantro. It looks like this is all Creeping Charlie and dandelion. Now this monster here, I am confused here. I don't know what this is. It's not something I planted, okay? It's not something I planted. I did not plant this, and I'm having mixed feedback. I don't know if it's poison hemlock or if it is something called cow parsley. But I think in either case, they're both poisonous. I could be wrong, but I am not trying to touch it just yet because from what I read, it you don't want to mess with it too much. But it's huge and I need it out. I did manage to cut one of the branches when I was weed whacking over here, and it is a hollow branch, if that helps. So if anyone knows what this is for sure, please let me know in the comment section below. All right, so we've got some of these, I think these are chives or bunching onions that come back every year. I never take them out, so they just come back. This was a kale, and it's going to start to flower. I think I mentioned in the video, well, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the video before, I'm going to start leaving some of these things that are flowering to drop their seeds, and I'm not going to worry about it because then I won't have to plant it again. So when these flower and they drop seed, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to let it. This whole bed can fill with kale for all I care. These over here, this was, I believe, oh no, I forgot. I'll post it in the picture because I did make a note of what it was. I just can't remember off the top of my head what it is right now. I want to say it's a cabbage, Chinese cabbage or something like that. Or, oh, collards. I think they were collards, purple stem collards. that Gina gave me. I think that's what these are. Purple stem collards. There's a couple back there too. I might space these more. I might dig this up and move it. But that's purple stem collards. This is another one of my beautiful sage plants that comes back every year. Love it. Over here I've got kales and spinach. I think there was spinach over here. I think that's a spinach right there. But there's the creeping Charlie trying to come in. I just threw down some basil in here. I got a comfrey plant that was gifted to me from our Georgia suburban homestead, and there it is right there. So I didn't think it was gonna make it, but lo and behold, there it is. So I will have some comfrey in this corner. This will be comfrey corner. I've got some more stuff here that I planted. I will pop it up in the on the screen. This is another huge mullein plant that I need to harvest the leaves off of. More bunching onions or chives, whatever they are. I had the notion that these super sweet 100s would reseed themselves, because I did let quite a few drop back in here last year. So I'm hoping that I won't have to plant those, because I didn't plant any. So I've got some things coming up, and then I've also got some weeds in here that I need to get out. More creeping Charlie. So this is something I planted. This is over here. I did plant some stuff over here, but I don't see anything that I planted over here. I just see a bunch of weeds. These are more bunching onions. I like to keep a lot of bunching onions in the garden because they drive away pests. So what I will do is I will just snip this off, and this gives off an odor, and then I just drop it in the bed, and it keeps pests away. So this was a bed I planted a bunch of herbs and stuff in. I don't know exactly what's coming up or not. This is a thistle that needs to come out. So this is something I planted. These seeds look like they're germinating. Back there, I don't know, I might have one, maybe two things coming up. This was my lavender that I transplanted. Over here I did chamomile, and I don't see any yet. This is something I planted, I know that. So I'll pop it up on the screen, but these things are starting to come up. And they were herbs that I want to keep in this bed. So hopefully this will fill up. The idea is to fill this bed up with herbs that will come back every year. So this is a hot mess over here. This was a bed that I was trying to do just flowers in. I had some gladiolas in there, and I tried to have like some other types of flowers, but these weeds just always take over, and they just always crowd everything out. Just terrible weeds. Another mullein. That stuff just is everywhere in my garden, just naturally. This is the strawberry patch. You can see lots of beautiful flowers in there. Lots of strawberries kind of come here. These just multiply, and I just let them. Like, I don't, this whole area can turn into strawberries, and I wouldn't even mind. This is all weeds over here. This is lemon balm. I really need to get this out of here. I just haven't decided on a place for it just yet, because it will take over. And if you see this grow bag has had it. It's done. So I need to get this out of there so that it won't spread all over the garden. This was a volunteer lettuce that came up. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to harvest this really soon because it's gonna start to get hot. These are kales and they're going to seed, and I'm going to let them. Over here, another one. Over here in the corner, I believe is like a wild mustard. And it comes back every year, and I don't mind. I just let it because it stays right there. It doesn't spread. Not yet anyway. I don't let too many of the seeds fall. I watch for the seeds. I don't let the seeds fall, but I do let it come back every year because it does draw in pollinators. So that's a good thing for me. There's a lot of cleaver in here. Can you see this? This is called cleaver. I'm pretty sure that's a beneficial herb. Over here, I've done nothing. This is all weeds. Here's another mullein. This is all weeds that have to come out. I did mulch this end right here when we cut this bush down. And I'm planning on putting tomatoes here. So I didn't want this to be all full of weeds. This is just Creepin' Charlie, and it'll be really easy to just yank it out. So I'm not really worried about it. Over here was where I had the ground cherries, and I was hoping that they will come back. This is all weeds. I don't see them yet, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to come back. I know that none of these are ground cherries. Ground cherries kind of look like a tomato plant. So that's about it. I'm getting a slow start this year on planting. Let's walk around by the bushes, by the berries. This is a blackberry bush that has been heavily pruned. So you can see that some of the new growth is starting to come on. This one can probably, well, it's got a sucker there, so I'm not going to bother it. But this top one is obviously dead. I'm going to have to get that out of there. And then these ones will just branch out. There's another one here. This one's getting pretty big too. Need to trellis those up. This one, I believe, was a raspberry. It's coming back. You can see it in the back there. So that one's coming back too. All these, this, I want to say this was a blueberry that got put there. Or, yeah, I think that was a blueberry. I'm not sure. I thought it was. Now I'm looking at it and I don't know if it is. These raspberries are, look at this. They are taken over. Okay, so the plant is there. And then you got these shoots that are coming up. You can see them all coming out here. 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 All of these little green sprouts that are coming out, this is all stemming back to that raspberry. So pretty soon this is just going to be all raspberries over here. That might be a problem. I mean, I love raspberries, but I didn't anticipate on them taking over. I might have to dig these little runners out of here. This is my oregano. It comes back every year. I love it. And then those are just weeds. More. Look at all these raspberries popping up. That's all raspberries. I had, 5 raspberry plants that I planted along the fence. And now I got about 25 raspberry plants. All right, this wood chip pile is definitely going to get used. It's been here for like 2 years. But it's definitely going to get used soon because I gotta bury all those weeds in that garden. This over here is my elderberry. This is one elderberry, and then this is one elderberry. This is a yellow raspberry. This was a blackberry, or maybe it was a blueberry. I'm not sure that it made it. It doesn't look like it has any growth on it. This one either. This was a blueberry. I just never got around to getting them out of those little bitty pots. So I'm not sure any of my blueberries are gonna make it. These were all blueberry. This was blueberry and that was blueberry, and the one in the back was a blueberry. I think that one was actually a blackberry. But only these three here are looking like they are doing anything. So I don't know if I lost my blueberry or not. It's my fault. I was going to get them in the ground and then I never did. All right, so let's look at the nectarine tree. So here is my nectarine tree. I don't know, it looks like it might have a few spots on it. I'm not sure if that's going to be an issue or not. I do need to feed it though. I haven't fertilized it for a while. Look at that little shoot coming off the bottom. I might have to clip that. This was supposed to be a pear tree that never grew, but now I don't know. This new growth is looking like it is connected to the tree that I planted, but I don't know if it's the tree that I planted. So when you get these trees, they graft them, and the root stock might not be whatever the tree is that you bought. So if I bought I want to say it was I can't remember what kind of pear it was, but usually they graft it to what is called a Bradford pear root, and I don't want a Bradford pear tree. So I don't know if this is going to actually be a fruiting tree, because this is like the first year that it's actually had some really good growth. So I'm not sure. But if it does end up being not what I bought it, I will take it out. Breaking sticks up, Zeke? You breaking sticks? Got sticks? You got sticks? So that's it, guys. That's pretty much all I got going on right now. I am slowly but surely getting things planted, and I've got tomatoes started that have not germinated. Let me tell you, I never had a problem germinating tomatoes before, and this year I planted these tomatoes. I kept them inside, I kept them covered, I kept them warm, I kept them hydrated, and maybe I had the indigo apple germinate, Amish paste germinated, and I think my Paul Robeson germinated. So I will be doing the Paul Robeson growing. Everyone's growing a Paul Robeson. That was also my single seed challenge too. Never posted that video either. Anyhow, hardly none of my tomatoes germinated, and neither did my peppers. So I don't know if it was the seed that I got, because that's never happened to me. I've never had that type of unsuccessful germination with peppers and tomatoes. So I have replanted the tomatoes, and the peppers, I'm not sure. Depends on the maturity date. I might not be able to replant all of them because I won't be able to get a successful harvest before my growing season ends. But I might just have to go to the nursery and get some peppers that way. I'll definitely go and get some jalapenos because I know they'll have jalapenos, and possibly some cayenne. But when you go to the nursery, they don't have a lot of, variety. And I was trying to grow some different things for some different variety. But I'll have, like I said, I'll have to check the maturity dates and see if that's possible. So anyhow, guys, this turned into a long video, and I said it wasn't going to be, and I apologize. But until next time, the more you know, the more you grow. Bye, guys.